welcome everybody back to another episode. You are listening to Wyatt's Hour, and today it is the last episode for Wyatt's Hour being on HC Hawk Radio. This is episode 10. I can't believe we've already gone through 10 episodes together. And this is our last ever episode today for me being here on HC Hawk Radio. So what we're going to be talking about today is going to be a little bit of a special episode. So our first segment will be the Hall of Fame game. It's a NFL game that happened this past Thursday. Let's just say it was the best preseason game I've seen in a very long time. Then our second segment will be the final box office look. So we're going to be looking at the box office one last time together. Then I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to give you guys my top 6 favorite video games of all time. Then number 4, I'm going to give you my final looks into the NFL season, telling you who I predict to win, etc., etc., everything you need to know. And then we're going to end the show today with my top 6 favorite movies / TV shows of all time. And as always, we end our show with a couple fun facts. So I'll be giving you the fun facts later on into the show. So don't go anywhere. We will be back right after this. Welcome back, guys, from the music break. That was Golden Hour by Jake. And so now, before we head into the Hall of Fame game, I'm going to be telling you the weather for today. So it's going to be 91 degrees today, or it is 91 degrees right now. It'll be a high of 93. There'll be thunderstorms in the evening. So luckily, after you finish listening to me, you can go outside, you can go swimming. It'd be a good day to go on a picnic. And later on tonight, it will be thunderstorming. So let's head right into the Hall of Fame game. So this past Thursday, it was the first game of the NFL season. And let's just say it was a really good. It was a really good game. The Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals. And for the Hall of Fame game, for those of you who don't know, the Hall of Fame game is basically a game to showcase your Hall of Famers of the 2026 year. And so for the Panthers, their Hall of Fame player who actually got to be showcased was Luke Kuechly. He's a linebacker for the Panthers, and he was a really good linebacker for the 8 or 9 years that he was with the Panthers. One of the best linebackers of all time. And for the Cardinals, their Hall of Famer was famous wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald. Was with the Cardinals for about 14 years. Which is a really long time. He debuted in 2004. He is regarded as one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Now, obviously, Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver of all time, but Larry Fitzgerald is second behind him. And so the game, the Panthers actually got a last-minute touchdown to put them in the lead, 33-30. Now, for preseason, it's really a chance to get players to, like second and third string players, to really get showcased, and for people to really get a chance to see what these players are all about, and see, do they have what it takes to become a starter. So for the Carolina Panthers, their starting quarterbacks for the game were Kenny Pickett and Heinz King. Now, Heinz King, he is a rookie quarterback from Georgia Tech, And Kenny Pickett, he's flopped around different teams. He got drafted in 2022, and he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He did not do so great with the Steelers, which is my favorite team, so I would have a lot more information on him. But I was really excited for him coming out of Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Panthers for college, and he's never really been able to muster the kind of greatness that he had in college. Then Hines King did really good. So Kenny Pickett had 8 completions on 11 attempts for 62 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. And Hines King, in my opinion, was the better quarterback of the game. Had 21 completions, 34 attempts for 180 passing yards with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Now, what really helped the Panthers win was Hines King actually had a last-minute rushing touchdown with no time left on the clock to put them in the lead 33-30. Now, they were losing 27-30, and they could have just kicked a field goal to make it go into overtime, but Panthers are like, we want to go for the kill. We want to go for the strike. And so in total, the running backs, they had Trevor Etienne, A.J. Dillon, Anthony Tyrus III, Hines King, and Miles Davis, all combined for 22 attempts for 141 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. One coming from King, other coming from A.J. Dillon. Now, our receivers, I'm not going to go through every receiver. I'm just going to tell you, like, the highlights. So you got Jimmy Horn Jr., who had the most receiving yards and the most receptions. He had 4 receptions for 44 yards. You got John Mechie III, who had 3 catches for 38 yards. And the only 2 wide receivers to get a receiving touchdown was Jasheem Reed, had 2 catches for 30 yards and 1 touchdown. And Anthony Tyrus III actually got a receiving touchdown. And the Panthers defense, from what it looks like, it was okay. It had a lot of tackles, only had 2 sacks, no interceptions. Sacks coming from Jared Harrison Hunty and Nick Hampton were the players that got the sacks. And so let's head over to the Cardinals, and I'll tell you what the Cardinals. Now, I will say this. When I saw Carson back on the field, I was really surprised about how confident, how professional he looked. He looked like a professional athlete. He looked like he was a pro in the league for like 3 years. And he's a rookie coming out of Miami. He was on the Georgia Bulldogs, and I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan as well for college football. And when I saw him in Georgia, he was like a really good quarterback. And then I saw him in Miami, and Miami was also a really good team, and he was a good quarterback there. And when he got drafted in the 3rd round, I was kind of surprised that he would go to the Cardinals, but this is his opportunity. The Cardinals' quarterback room, to me, is wide open. You have Jacoby Brissett, who, he's not the greatest quarterback. He's a quarterback that will get you through a game and who will help you win a couple. He'll get you like 7 wins. But then you got Gardner Minshew III, who, if I'm being honest here, he's not really a good quarterback. He's a good backup. He's not a good starter, so I don't think Gardner Minshew is going to be the starter. So I really think Carson Beck could definitely be the starter. Speaking of him, he had 15 passes on 19 attempts for 188 yards and 1 passing touchdown. Then Keydon Slovis he's another quarterback who is most famously known for the UFL, which is a minor league to the NFL. He had 9 passes on 10 attempts for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, the 2 running backs who were really the main ones that were helping the Cardinals in their running game is Bam Knight with 12 carries for 60 yards and Corey Kiner 14 rushing attempts on 57 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. And the Cardinals actually had a better receiving core here, as Jalen Brooks had 3 catches for 99 yards. Reggie Virgil had 5 catches for 66 yards. And your 2 players who got the receiving touchdowns were Sammy Fihoko, 1 catch for 5 yards and a touchdown, and Bryson Green with 1 catch, 1 yard, and 1 touchdown. And the Cardinals defense didn't really do that good either. They only had 1 sack, and it was by Andrew Billings. But I will say, based off of how each player looked and how everybody looked out there, it was a really good Hall of Fame game, one of the best Hall of Fame games that we've had in a while. And so, yeah, that is everything for our Hall of Fame segment. We're going to be going right into a music break. After we come out of the music break, we're going to go into one of my favorite segments that we do, a final box office look of the top 10. And I'll tell you one last time, if the list that they have is what it should be, and my predictions for the upcoming for the rest of the year for movies. So we'll be back right after this. And welcome back, everybody, to Wyatt Tower. You're listening here live on HC Hawk Radio here at the Ybor City campus. And if you weren't here for the intro and for the first segment, this is the 10th and last episode of Wyatt Tower being on HC Hawk Radio. Who knows, maybe in the future, Wyatt Tower will continue on YouTube. Who knows? But then we also talked about the Hall of Fame game, the NFL Hall of Fame game that happened on Thursday. So now, let's head right into one of my favorite segments that we do. It's the box office recap. And let's just say this. A lot has changed since we last spoke together. So the highest grossing film of the year so far is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, I haven't seen it yet. From what I've been told, it's a really fun and exciting movie. It actually broke the record for the quickest to make $1 billion in the box office in 6 days. Yeah, just think about that for a second. 6 days it took Spider-Man to reach $1 billion. It has made $1.665 billion, which is absolutely insane. And yeah, it from what it looks like, Spider-Man is trying to reinvent himself and try to get his best friends to remember him. And everybody in that universe kind of forgot about him. And even Hulk, I see that Hulk is in the movie, and Hulk even forgets about Spider-Man and completely destroys Spider-Man. It's like we got the real Hulk back, which is that was really exciting, and to see in the trailer. That's what I saw in the trailer. So who knows how it'll be in the actual movie theater. But then The Odyssey is second on the box office here. And The Odyssey has made $1.105 billion. Now, The Odyssey, when we last spoke, it was at like 980 million. And now it's reached over 1 billion. And The Odyssey, like I've told you guys, I really haven't watched it yet. But the fact that we have back-to-back movies, like really good movies from what I've heard, reach $1 billion, that is like absolutely insane. Number 3 is Toy Story. Toy Story has made $1.094 billion. And again, I keep saying this every time. I need to go see Toy Story. There's a lot of movies I want to go see this year, but Toy Story 5 continues to be one of the best movies, kids movies of the year. As a lot of parents are really excited about it. They really like the comparison to real life and the animation world, where kids are really obsessed with their technology these days. And the older generation, like the millennials, to keep them occupied, they used to always play with toys, and it just really connects with the millennials more. Our fourth movie is Michael, and Michael has made $1.021 billion. And if you don't know what Michael is, it's a biopic film of Michael Jackson, the late great, rest in peace, Michael. And it just tells a story about his life, how in his childhood he was in the Jackson 5, and he started really picking up in the 80s, in his 20s, 30s, 40s. He's really popular. He was really the most popular musician of all time. Only person I could say gets close to that is Taylor Swift. It's like your modern day Michael Jackson. But then the fifth is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And that sits at $1.012 billion. And that's a sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie that came out, I think, 3 years ago. And I've seen everybody that loves the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So that right there, we have 5 movies that have hit $1 billion. 5 movies. So in total, that makes about $5 billion. In my prediction from earlier in the episode, I said we would reach 10 billion by the end of the year. I think we're reaching 10 billion by the end of the year. And number 6 is The Devil Wears Prada 2, sitting at 691 million. Project Hail Mary sits at is 7th on the list, sits at 683 million. We have Pegasus 3, which is a Chinese film about racing, is at 656 million, and Obsession is 9th with 488 million, and last but not least, Minions and Monsters is at 474 million. Can't believe that Obsession is still on the list. It's still top 10 list of the most money made this year. It's really insane to think that a movie with $750,000 budget has made that much money and has really been really good. I've seen a lot of people have really have been excited about it. So that is your top 10, and here's my final predictions before we go back into a music break. Let's just say this. I think the total money made in the box office will reach $12 billion by the end of the year. And we will have 8 movies that have reached $1 billion by the end of the year as well. So I predict 8 movies will hit $1 billion. And I predict total, it'll be about 12 million. So if you want to, this year seems to be the year for movie fans. And I've seen next year as well. Next year has really good movies coming out next year too. So thank you all so much for listening to this segment. When we come back from the music break, we're going to get a little personal here, and I'm going to tell you my top 6 favorite video games of all time. And maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. But we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Wyatt's Hour. You are listening here live on HC Hawk Radio here at the Ybor City campus. And now let's head right in to something that's a little personal, which my top 6 favorite video games of all time. So I'm going to go from number 6 to number 1, 1 meaning my favorite game of all time. Number 6 has to be NBA 2K14. Now, if you don't know what NBA is the National Basketball Association. It's a basketball game made in 2014. Now, during that time, you had LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, you had Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid. You had You had so many really good players in that game, and I used to always love playing with LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Chris Paul, like Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, like all of those players I loved to just play with. And as a basketball fan, I am a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, my reasoning behind that is I loved the stars that the Lakers have been able to produce. Like, they've had legendary people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Aaron Reeves, Austin Reeves. You had so many really good players on the Lakers, so that's why the Lakers are my favorite. My favorite team. Now, number 5. Number 5 has to be Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, Red Dead, if those of you who don't know, it's made by Rockstar, the same company that makes GTA 5. GTA 6 coming out this year, November 12th. And so Red Dead, it's a old like Western video game where it's like an open world and it has a story where Arthur Morgan, he's in his little stable and he's trying to do these like different missions, and I really play it for the open world. I just love to just kind of like role play a little bit, just walk around. Just pretend to just live life with them a little bit. And Red Dead, it's so like realistic, and they were so ahead of its time. It came out in 2018, and the realism in that game is so realistic, and I really love playing that game. And then number 4 is Madden 26. Now, normally, people would just say, oh, just Madden or NBA, but I want to give you specific games that I like to play. So, Madden 26 is a football game. It's an NFL game that came out last year, and it's really good. I like the franchise mode where you can play as different teams. You can be a coach, be an owner, and really take your team to the Super Bowl. I like how you can use different teams, about how creative you can be. They have a superstar mode where you can be a quarterback, running back, linebacker, wide receiver, tight end, and you can really be your own player and kind of put him through the league and trying to make your player the best player in the league. And that's number 4. Now, this top 3 is going to get really interesting. Number 3 has to be GTA 5. And I got this game last year for the first time, because now that I'm over 18, I can actually play it without getting in trouble. And I love how realistic the game is. I play it sometimes for the story, but most of the time, I play the game for the open world. I'm kind of like an open world kind of guy. I'm kind of doing like role play, just kind of going through life with Michael, Franklin and Trevor. So GTA 5 is my third favorite game of all time. And then number 2 is the original Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And bro, I loved the zombies. I loved the first person shooter. Black Ops has always been Call of Duty has always been a really good video game franchise. The newer games now, it's not really interesting to me. But I loved the old games like Call of Duty. You got Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2. 2 had the best zombies. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So I like Call of Duty Black Ops 1 is my favorite game because growing up I loved first person shooters. I loved the first person shooter games, man, and I loved being able to have to think and have to look and see where do I have to be, kind of how do I plan for attacks. So that's my second favorite game of all time. And my first favorite game of all time, those who know me would know this was going to be number 1. WWE 2K14 is my favorite video game of all time. And here's why. That at that time, you had so many legends and wrestlers in the game. The universe mode was really good back then. I loved the 30 years of WrestleMania where you had to go through each WrestleMania and you had to complete the match. And when you completed the match, you unlocked the legends of that match. And it was really good. The creation suite was really good back then. And overall, it was weirdly realistic. Like looking back on it now and looking at the current WWE games, you see that the new ones are more realistic. But to me, it's weirdly realistic for me in 2014, the WWE 2K14. And so that is my favorite game of all time. Hopefully some of those hit your top 6. Maybe none of them hit. Maybe you guys are more of a like fantasy or a Minecraft or a Roblox kind of guy. I know my brother is. So that's my top 6 favorite games of all time. When we come back from the music break, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the final looks into the NFL season and giving you a couple predictions that I think will happen this year. So we will be back right after this. And welcome back, everybody, to Wyatt's Hour. That was Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. And now let's head right in to my final looks into the NFL season. Now, I expect this year to be the best year for the NFL in a long time. And your reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, do I think they repeat? No. I do not think they will do a repeat. But here's what I think will happen. I think your Super Bowl matchups will be the Eagles. I think the Eagles have a chance to get in. It's either going to be for the NFC, the National Football Conference. I think it's going to be either the Eagles who make their way in, or honestly, a sleeper pick, the Packers. I think the Packers have a chance to get into the Super Bowl this year. And for the AFC, for the American Football Conference, I think it's really hard because the AFC has so much competition around it and everything. You can make an argument for the Bills. You can also make an argument for the Chiefs as well. But I think It's going to be Bills, and actually, I'm going to change my mind from the Eagles to the Rams. I think it's going to be Bills and Rams in this year's Super Bowl. Now, if I wanted to, as a Steelers fan, I hope and I pray that we go into the Super Bowl, but that's like me asking for a miracle. That's not going to happen anytime soon, and I hope the Steelers can make it, but most likely we're going to go 9-8, have our winning season, and go into the playoffs and get blown out by some team like the Texans, which I'm still not happy about. I get made fun of by my friends all the time with that game. So I also think that this year that we will have a lot of really close matchups. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of like really close matchups for the NFL. So what you need to know is expect like teams like the Rams, Seahawks, Eagles, Packers, honestly Lions, Cowboys to be into the playoffs. For the AFC, I would expect Chiefs, Denver, Colts, Steelers, Ravens. I'd also expect Bills, New England. So this year's NFL season is really going to be a really fun one. I have seen there has been a couple of injuries that's already happened. And now I'm going to give you guys kind of the preseason schedule and week 1 schedule of the NFL, just so that you guys know what to look for. So for the preseason, it really won't matter too much for any of the preseason games. So actually, we'll look into week 1. I'll tell you what games I'm excited for. So you get your Super Bowl 60 rematch between the Patriots and the Seahawks on September 9th at 8:20 p.m. on NBC and I would assume Peacock. So for the first time, football is happening on a Wednesday instead of Thursday. Normally, your first game of the NFL season is always on Thursday, but this time it's on a Wednesday. And for Thursday, September 10th, you got the 49ers versus the Rams. And this will happen for the very first time in Australia. You got the 49ers and the Rams at 8:35 p.m. right on Netflix. Then Sunday, September 13th, you have a lot of games going on. You got the Buccaneers versus the Bengals, Saints versus Lions, Jets versus Titans, Ravens versus Colts, Falcons versus Steelers, Panthers versus Bears, Browns, Jaguars, Bills, Texans, Dolphins, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, Commanders, Eagles, Cardinals, and Chargers. Your Sunday night football game is the Cowboys versus the Giants. And your Monday night football game is Broncos versus the Chiefs. Now, those matchups are really good for week 1 of the NFL season. So I predict the Seahawks will win 23-20. I won't do this for every game, but for the primetime games, I'll give you my total scores. Rams, I predict them winning 27-24. And then for Sunday night, for Cowboys and Giants, I predict the Cowboys to win 14 to Giants win 21-14. And then the Broncos and Chiefs, I expect the Chiefs to beat the Broncos 34-31. And all the other games, if you want to view them, if you want to see what the predictions are, you can go on to ESPN.com. You can go to the NFL section, and you'll be able to see every game from weeks 1 to weeks 18. So that is my final look into the NFL season. So when we come back from the music break, we'll go into our final segment of the day, which is my top 6 favorite movies slash shows of all time. So we will be back right after this. And welcome back, everybody, to our last segment of the day. This is Wyatt Tower right here on HC Hawk Radio here at the Ybor City campus. We're going to be doing our last ever segment here on HC Hawk Radio, and we're going to end it off in a bang. Are my top 6 favorite movies slash TV shows of all time. Now, number 6 has to be the movie called Central Intelligence. It stars The Rock and Kevin Hart. It's about The Rock plays a man who, he's a spy, but in high school he was like kind of the fat kid who was kind of made fun of. Now he's super buff, and people really don't believe that he's like a spy. So they're kind of like spies, and they're trying to complete their mission that they were given. And it's honestly a really funny movie. If you want to laugh, that movie is the movie for you to laugh at. It's really fun. It's really funny. Number 5, I'm gonna hit you with a TV show here. We have Finding Bigfoot. Is my 5th favorite movie slash TV show of all time. Now, this kind of conspiracy theory has been as old as the 60s. Some people think that Bigfoot is fake. Some people think that Bigfoot is real. Now, if you want my opinion on it, I think to a certain extent it's real, but a lot of people try and take advantage that there's like a lot of people who think like 100% this is real, this is undoubtedly real. So like what you see on television is most likely not real to an extent. Like you need it's entertainment, so you need moments to get to catch people's eyes and keep them watching. But I think like the actual Bigfoot creature itself, I think that is real. At least no one's ever been able to prove that it's not real. So that's my 5th. My 4th, I'm gonna hit you with another movie here, is called Daddy's Home, where you have the father of, so these two kids, they have a stepfather. So the stepfather is Will Ferrell, and the actual biological father of those two kids is Mark Wahlberg. And now in this movie, it's so funny, and it really shows you the realities of being a stepfather and actually being a father for your kid, and about how the actual biological father sometimes isn't really there for his kids, and the stepfather kind of has to like step up. But it's really funny. You can obviously tell the struggles right away with being a stepfather for Will Ferrell and being a biological father for Mark Wahlberg, because the biological, is just trying to make his kids as happy as possible, trying to get them to be all happy and all really excited. So in my 3rd favorite movie slash TV show of all time, I'm going to go really deep into the bag here. We're going to go Avengers Endgame. Now that is my 3rd favorite movie of all time, because I loved the story about how every superhero from every Marvel universe tries to team up and tries to kill Thanos. And it was the storytelling was so good, and I loved how they told the story of they needed to defeat Thanos. And so that's my third favorite. My second favorite movie / TV show of all time is it's a TV show, and it's called Ghost Adventures. Now, for Ghost Adventures, if you don't know what that is, it's a show where 4 paranormal investigators, they try to investigate if a house is haunted or if it's not, if ghosts are real. Now, here's my thoughts on it. I love the TV show, and I think the TV show is real to an extent, but sometimes they can over exaggerate things, but they need eyes on they need eyes on their show. But I do think most of the show is real. And Ghost, I think, like, the term spirits are real, but I think whenever you talk about ghost, most of the time, you're not really being too serious about it. But spirits, I feel like spirits are real, and you can come in contact with spirits, and whatever. Like, let's say you come into a spirit of your father, right? Most of the time, it's not really your father. It's more of a demon trying to get your attention, trying to get you to, like, kind of change your, trying to change your mind, or trying to control your mind. And my favorite movie of all time is The Big Friendly Giant. I love how wholesome the movie is. It talks about a giant being nice to an orphan, trying to take the orphan on an adventure. And those giants are actually known for eating children in the movie, but this giant doesn't try and eat the girl. He tries to take her out on an adventure and tries to give her the best experience that she could ask for. And so I really love The Big Friendly Giant, or the BFG. That is a really good movie. So that is my final segment of the day. And before I let you guys go one last time, I'm going to be giving you guys some fun facts of the day. So, but before we do our fun facts, I'm going to give you a recap of what we talked about today. So we talked about the Hall of Fame game. We also talked about the final box office look. We talked about my top 6 favorite video games of all time. We also talked about my final looks into the NFL season. And now we just got done finishing my top 6 favorite movies and shows of all time. So before I let you guys go, I got a couple fun facts for you guys here. Did you know that water is older than the sun? The water you drink originated from interstellar gas clouds billions of years older than our solar system. Human teeth cannot heal themselves. They are the only part of the human body that cannot regenerate because they are not made of living tissue. And the Lego Group has deep meaning. Founded in 1932, the name comes from the Danish words leg godt, which translate directly to play well. So there's your a couple fun facts of the day for you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening for these past 10 weeks. It's really been a joy for me to talk to you guys. I've learned as I've done more and more episodes, I've learned how to keep you guys entertained, how to make sure that you guys are having the best hour that you can. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Wyatt's Hour here on HC Hawk Radio. This is the last episode that will ever be on HC Hawk Radio. I may do some more episodes on YouTube. So if you ever want to go onto YouTube, you'll see, if you type in Wyatt's Hour, you'll see all of my episodes on YouTube. You can listen to all my old episodes. So again, thank you guys so much, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys have a great rest of your year. As some of Some of you or your kids are probably going into school, so have a great school year. And we will see you guys all in the future. See you guys later. Peace.